page 28 in your red-blue workshop. We're going to do this, which is about the person of the moderator and skills instructor, and then we're going to talk about the future. So it's called Degrees of Personal Polarization. So page 28 in the red-blue moderator, and it says Degrees of Personal Polarization. What we're going to do in the last part of our meeting today is give you some ideas about who we think can do this work. We're going to tell you what we expect, what our expectations are. We're going to talk about what you can expect of us. And then you're going to let us know if you want to go forward with us. And then we'll have a little evaluation form and we'll check out. We're going to do that all in the last 35 minutes. This table describes a continuum of what we call affective polarization, emotional polarization around politics, organized from extremely polarized to none. Type 1, this is just something there's no academic rigor behind this. This is something I developed. Type 1, they are enemies. The view of the other side, they want to harm the country, and the core emotion, hatred, which is based on fear. Second type, they are deplorable, key phrase. They're ignorant and should know better, and the core emotion is disdain. I don't hate them, but I disdain them, like they should know better. The third type, key phrase, they've been duped. View of the other side, well-meaning but fooled. This is the, why does Kansas vote against their own self-interest? Okay? And then the core emotion is pity. These poor, uneducated people. You can see my job then is to lift them out of their ignorance. Number 4, they have something to contribute is the key phrase. The view of the other side, that they have some valid points, although their overall perspective is flawed. But the core emotion is basic respect. And type 5 is there are many, I guess that's not phrase right, there are many contributions are necessary. The view of the other side, important perspective, even if I agree with only parts of it, and the core emotion is respect and appreciation. And just those paragraphs are that the first 3 types you're baffled. What you find yourself saying is, I can't, well, at least on the third one, I can't understand. The first 2, you do understand. They're rotten. I mean, they're self-serving. At type 4, you try to understand the other side's values, concerns, and solutions, but you see mainly their approach is correctives to your side's essentially sound worldview. You speak a bit of their language, but you couldn't use it in a conversation that has any complexity. Native speakers credit you for trying, but you miss a lot of nuances. And then the type 5, you've developed an appreciative understanding of the other side's values, concerns, and solutions, even if you disagree with many of their positions. You see their perspective is essential in the public dialogue. You're reasonably fluent in the other language, can speak with nuance, such as the other side would say that you speak their language well, although perhaps not with a native's emotional tone and background. Here's the point of all this, as opposed to just more than an academic exercise. Our thinking is, and you could tell me if you agree or not, that to do the Better Angels workshops, you have to be at 4 or 5, type 4 or 5. That if you are at 3, that you see these folks as mostly needing correction and education, then if you're blue, that's how you feel about the reds, and if you're red, that's how you feel about the blue. And of course, the other 2 are much more negative emotions. And so we're just inviting you, does it make sense that we're saying that? And we're just saying to you, self-reflect as you think about signing up of whether you're at a point you can do this. Somebody at the Minnesota workshop who I know well and has really great skills, she said at this point she feels too reactive to Reds to do these workshops. And the way it showed up for her was when I described a question of clarification that I helped a group of Reds make to Blues in the day-long workshop, which was, how do you think about quotas, government quotas related to identity? as in race and gender and sexual orientation. You know, what's your view of how and when those are appropriate? It was an affirmative action question. And when she heard that question in the workshop, inside she went, no, no, no. It's not about identity, it's about oppression. And she would have trouble helping the Reds frame that question in that neutral way without the overlay that this is oppressed people. Okay? And that question would have in it the assumption that the other side agrees on the oppression. And I swear what would happen is if you put gender in there, one of the Red women would say, I'm not oppressed. And that question would not go well. So what I would do with them is to say, is oppression necessary in there? Could this be asked in a more neutral way so that they give their philosophy of how they think about affirmative action? And what the students said is that she's too reactive at this point to be able to help a question like that be asked that did not have a strongly embedded blue philosophy. And so she's going to hold off, which is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. So we just, as you think about going forward, and we're all in different places and evolving in different places.